Town Talents and Treasures. Our goal is to introduce you to citizens who, in their own unique way, enrich, educate, empower, or inspire others in the community. Certainly, Family Services of the Merrimack Valley does all of that. Our guests today are Lori Howe, she's the Associate Director, and Carmen Vega, she's the Case Manager for the Young Empowered Parents Program. Now listen to Family Services of the Merrimack Valley's mission statement. It says, Family Services empowers, nurtures, and supports children and families through life's challenges to help them reach their full potential. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
So it used to be called Family Service Inc. and now a brand new name, Family Services of the Merrimack Valley, but same mission and same work, right, Lori?
That's right. So Family Services of the Merrimack Valley first started in actually 1854 as the Lawrence City Mission. And then we became Family Service Association and then Family Service Inc. And now we're Family Services of the Merrimack Valley. And the reason for that name change was really to reflect our growth. We started out serving just the city of Lawrence, where there is a concentration of needs, certainly. But our programs and services expand all the way out to Newburyport and about 22 cities and towns that compose the Merrimack Valley in Massachusetts. So we felt it was time to have our name catch up with our geographic area.
Wow. And so 22 towns. And what I like about Family Services of the Merrimack Valley, it's going to take some time to get used to, is that you not only serve a certain segment, not only children, but elderly, all segments of society from start to finish to make sure that they reach their full potential. How are you able to do that?
That's right, Esther. So some of our programs really work with young families, and our programs are in three areas: youth development, parent education, and mental health counseling. So the needs that we fill within those three areas really reach out to anyone at any age, any gender, any geographic location in the Merrimack Valley who has some need, something that's holding them back in life, and we provide the support and services to help them get over that hurdle, reach their full potential. Most of our services are really focused around social and emotional help. We don't do handouts. We don't provide.
So more like counseling?
Yeah, more counseling, social emotional, skills, communication skills, those types of things. And that's kind of the common denominator in all of our programs, is giving people the knowledge, the tools, and the skills to be able to take care of themselves and take care of others.
How have you seen the need change?
That's interesting. It kind of has stayed the same in that we all face really common obstacles, whether you come from Andover or Lawrence or Newburyport or Salisbury. People sometimes didn't get the nurturing and care and support when they were growing up, and so they didn't learn those skills to take care of themselves and others, and need to learn that as adults or as teenagers, and so that's what we do across the board.
Let's take a second now and watch this short video at one of Carmen's programs. So we'll be right back and watch this amazing video.
If anyone were to ask me 2 years ago if I could picture myself as a teen parent, my answer would be, hell no. Not even in a million years could I see myself with a child. But today I have a beautiful 20-month-old baby girl named Kaylani Gomez. I come from a family of 6 kids. I am the second oldest, raised by a single mother who's given me everything and more. I was born in Boston, Mass., raised in Lawrence, Mass. It hasn't been easy growing up in Lawrence, where everything around you is statistics. So when I became pregnant in my junior year of high school, I knew I fit into the statistics of a teen pregnancy. As nervous as I was, I didn't know what direction to turn. I fell into deep depression. Reality had hit me. I didn't have a single clue on how to raise a child. I knew with the help of my mom and my boyfriend, I was going to be okay. But in my heart, I needed more. I needed knowledge. One day, about 7 months into my pregnancy, my mom came to me and said, "You have an intake for a teen pregnancy program called Family Services." I looked at her like she had 5 heads. What are they going to do? How can they help me? She looked back at me and said, "You will be surprised what people can do. There's great people out there." Now, I ask myself, what hasn't this program done for me and my daughter? I went in knowing nothing and had such low self-esteem. But on my first visit, my caseworker said to me, "No one is born a mother. It's all a learning process." Those were the words I needed to hear. Although I was still scared and sometimes still depressed, I also started to learn, and learning made me feel better. Family service has given me more than knowledge. Because of family services, I now have a support system, a second family, another home, new friends, and best of all, the feeling of knowing that everything will be okay. Now that my daughter is born, I'm there once a month, sometimes with my boyfriend and sometimes just with Kaylani. The staff at Family Service have changed my entire outlook on life. They were the little push I needed to succeed. Thanks to them, I am now a young, empowered parent.
So Carmen, Dakota came to you.
Yes.
Tell me, in what state did she come to you? What was her mental state, her emotional state?
So her mom originally was the one who referred her to our program. She came pregnant, she came upset, not knowing. She was a little bit disappointed because she didn't want to be what she calls like a statistic.
Right.
So she was looking for guidance and just to see how she can get through the hurdles.
And walk me through the process. She comes in, you said upset.
Yes.
What do you address first?
Well, one of the things was she thought that, that she should have known everything, what it takes to be a parent. And I'm like, you don't,
There's
you're
no
not born.
handbook
No,
written.
no, and this is gonna be a learning process, and we're gonna be here. Your mom's here. Her boyfriend is very involved as well. So I'm like, don't worry about it. One day at a time. And sometimes it's gonna be 1 minute at a time. Yeah.
And so how often do you meet with her and talk about her staying in school, and what kind of tools did you give her to be able to stay in school?
We were meeting twice a month because sometimes we do what we call wellness groups. So we meet like in general, like all the kids from the program. We have about it ranges from 40 to 60 participants. So we'll hold like a monthly wellness, and we'll speak about different topics. We can talk about, one day would be about swaddling, how to comfort your child. Another one could be about staying in school and the goals. What goals do you have after you finish high school? Do you plan on a job training, or do you want to go to college? So we talk about
career counseling is what women and men.
Yes, the moms and the dads both.
And is that a requirement that that you have a significant other? Whether
No,
it's
not at all. Some are. We have some single parents, moms, and we have some single dads too, and they both feel comfortable being in the program.
How do you encourage them to stay in school?
Well, we say especially to stay within the high school, because especially now with the GED, they think, they think GED, okay, we're gonna take a test and we're all done, but it's like 4 years of what you learned you're getting tested in this big test, and it's quite difficult. So I'm like, you know what? Don't lose out. Like going to high school, it's not only about academics, it's, social skills and your friends and building your memories, going to prom. I'm like, you can do all these
Live
things.
your life.
Yeah.
Live your
it's
life,
like you
yeah.
have a child, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But you know what? If you have this support, you can do everything. You can do anything. Nothing should stop you.
And do you have licensed counselors in-house that work with some of these people?
Yeah, sure. That's one of the benefits at Family Services, that because we have 20 different programs that really specialize in all sorts of different facets of family life. So some of the parents from Carmen's program have access to licensed mental health counselors at Family Services that they can sit with to, deal with different issues. And then there's programs, parent education classes that they can take at Family Services. That's not necessarily part of what Carmen does, but she can refer them. So we help.
And it's free for them?
Yes.
Or
Yep.
they don't need health insurance to get these counseling?
Oh, I'm sorry. The mental health clinic, they do. I mean, we have a sliding fee for people who don't have insurance, but and we also help them, get connected to if they're eligible for Mass Health. That's not been a huge issue, I don't think.
No.
So.
Pretty much all of our participants have insurance, so if we do have to refer out to the mental health clinic, then they're all set. We haven't had a problem. And for the parenting journey, that's free of charge. And the Siempre Papá is free of charge
Those
as
are
well.
our parenting classes. Yeah.
Sempre Papa. Very cute.
Yeah, that's for actually, that's targeting teen dads.
And how's Dakota doing? I mean, she looks great and enthusiastic in the video. But since that video was shot, how is she doing? She's
doing good. She's taking a break right now from college, but she's in the works of getting back into going to college. She says she wants to be a criminal justice student. Good. Yeah, so she's very excited for that.
Awesome.
And she'll be back in college if Carmen has anything to say about it.
She definitely has to go back. I'm like, you have to go back to college. And actually, she will be volunteering at Family Services of the Merrimack Valley a couple of hours as well. She wants to give back.
And this is a perfect segue to what I wanted to talk about next, and that's the mentoring program. You don't have to be staff. You can volunteer at Family Services, and Bullet Strike for Kids is one of my favorite events, and I was on team last year. Talk about the mentoring program. How can people get involved?
Sure.
What does it entail?
So the mentoring program is called Big Friends, Little Friends, and it's a traditional community-based mentoring program where we match adult volunteers with kids who their teacher or guidance counselor, parent, someone in the community has referred them to the program. They may be missing a positive adult role model in their life. So we match them with a volunteer. They spend, I think it's about 8 hours a month together in the community, going bowling, going to the movies, doing whatever, just making a friendship so that those kids can have someone to rely on and a friend, someone to look up to. The program is all privately funded. We raise money for it. So our fundraising event to support mentoring is called Bullet Strike for Kids. This year it's going to be on March 7th, 2014 at Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill. And what we do is people come and they get a team together, and then those teams raise money. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And also a lot of the mentors participate and raise money, and then they bring their mentees with them to bowl that night. So it's
one of the things that I enjoyed in talking to some of the mentors, that they got so much out of it.
Yeah, we always tell people that, most of the mentors say, I got more out of it than the kid did. There's a lot of hesitation about becoming a mentor because of the time commitment and the fear of, I think, having someone rely on you so much. But people really get a lot out of it. We do ask that if you sign up to be a mentor, that you stick with it for at least a year. Research shows that mentoring is hugely beneficial when it happens for a year plus. If it's under a year, it can actually be harmful for the kids because there might be, issues of abandonment or something like that. So we work a lot with our volunteers to stick with them for that first year, and most do.
And the other big fundraising activity is Rhapsody Gala.
Yep.
So fun.
Yep, our Rhapsody Gala, that's going to be in May 2014 at the Andover Country Club. And we have a big silent auction and a dinner, and it's a really fun, festive night, and it's a chance for us to get together with our supporters and celebrate the work that we do.
Let's talk about some of the other programs, the Samaritans.
Yeah,
which used to be a separate.
It was. The Samaritans of the Merrimack Valley was its own nonprofit organization until I want to say about 2004, 2005. It's very difficult for really, really small nonprofits to be able to survive on their own because of the overhead costs associated. So their board of directors approached Family Services and asked if they could come under our umbrella, and it was a perfect fit for our missions. So they now are under Family Services. They have a 24/7 suicide crisis hotline, and I'll have you post the 800 number, which I don't know off the top of my head. And they also do a lot of community outreach to talk about prevention and also to support families who have families and friends who have lost someone to suicide.
And are those licensed clinicians, or can it be volunteers?
They're volunteers as well. They're highly trained, supervised volunteers. And again, they benefit from that we have a mental health clinic on site, so if they've got an issue or concern about a caller, they can bring somebody in with that type of credentialing.
Looking forward, new name, new brand. What do you look forward to in 2014? What are some of your goals, your missions in the year?
Yeah, we really are looking to be able to establish a bigger presence throughout the Merrimack Valley, especially, you know, closer to the seacoast in Newburyport. I think there's a lot of people there who maybe want to sign up to be a mentor or a CASA volunteer, which is another one of our programs, but they don't know about us because we haven't had that name recognition in that area. So we're looking to expand geographically and making sure that we can serve everybody who might have a need.
And what kind of volunteering opportunities are there for parenting program?
For parenting, we sometimes have opportunities to come in. We have like community-wide events. We have a holiday party, and in the summer we've done what we call a mini clown town on site, where we have a sort of a festival for families. So sometimes we'll have volunteers come in for that. But because the work that Carmen does with parents is really so specialized, and there's you really need to have the education and the experience to be able to work with the parents one-on-one.
I want to ask you, for someone watching this who may be hesitating, may need one of your services and may be hesitating because of shame, of fear, of all types of emotions tied up, what do you say to people?
They are not alone. You know, as I said at the outset, whether you're a family in Andover or Lawrence or Salisbury or Newburyport, we're all struggling with the same things. We really are. Some people have the resources to be able to, go somewhere and pay an expert in the field. Other people, don't have that, and that's what we're there for. These are, the challenges that families face, that parents and kids face, are really universal. So I know that there's a stigma, certainly around mental health issues, but we hope that people can feel no shame. Our services, especially in the mental health clinic, are all confidential. Our suicide crisis line is confidential. You don't have to give a name. So we hope that people reach out, whether to Family Services or another service provider, and get the help that they need.
And Carmen, what do you say to teen parents out there?
I say to reach out, just that you're not alone. And for instance, one of the things that I share is that I was a teen mom as well. And so, once they hear that, it's like, okay, there's gonna be a person that's not gonna judge me, because, how can I judge you when I've been there, So I can really say to them, I've been there and done that. So, and you know what, it gets a little bit better. Let's go to the other side. Sometimes we need a push, and it's okay. It's okay to rely on other people.
Okay, awesome. Carmen, Lori, Family Services of the Merrimack Valley. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
Thank
Esther.
you.
That's our show for tonight. Make sure you like us on Facebook, and if there is someone or an organization you think should be featured on Hometown Talents and Treasures, email me at estherandvaida@gmail.com. Remember, it can be anyone. The important thing is that they selflessly donate their talent and time to help others. See you next time.